yet. He's got a few more days to do it. Hopefully he'll be good on Sunday.
Now, the 49ers did not fly back to the Bay Area after the loss to Baltimore. They went straight to Florida and have been practicing at the IMG Academy, Kyle, where Kyle Shanahan has them washing cars and painting fences, and they are very reluctant to do so.
I bet. And, well, we have to get to our guest. However, I want to mention that during the commercial break, this guest was talking about how good you are at doing impressions. And I'm not kidding. I'm not making that up. We will get to it in a second. But first, we have to be joined. Right now, it's a pleasure for us. One of the funniest, most versatile performers around. You might know him from Mad TV, Frank TV, his own podcast, the Caliendo cast. He's the man of a million voices, and he agrees with how incredible he is. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mr. Frank Caliendo.
I'm the type of person who'll clap for myself. I have no problem with it. Why not go with it? Yeah, I watch the show a lot.
Thank you.
And when I see him do impressions, I'm actually kind of blown away to believe that people outside of the impression world do impressions as well. The Jimmy Fallon was one when he did that. I was like, oh my goodness, that's a that whole thing. I was like, that's really great. He's keying into the little pieces that you try to, instead of like, I get bored when people do just an impression and don't have anything to do with it. Sure. It creates the character with it, and that's what makes it a lot of fun.
How about that?
Will's putting it on the Emmy reel.
That's on his reel. Frank, you grew up in Wisconsin, now live in Arizona. Where does your football fandom come out?
Well, like you said, in Wisconsin, I grew up as a Green Bay Packer fan, but I was born in Chicago. So then we moved to, when I was 4, we moved to Milwaukee, and everybody was a Packer fan, and this was a down time for the Packers. This is Forrest Gregg and stuff like that. Yeah. So my uncle would send us Bears posters with, you know, 1985 Super Bowl Bears posters and stuff like that, and people would come in and draw mustaches on the guys that didn't have mustaches. So it was that kind of a thing. So we would get in lots of trouble for having Bears stuff. So we were gradually we had to become full-on Packer fans. But now I live in Arizona. So I coach flag football for Steve Keim's son.
Nice.
Did that? Oh yeah, for all kinds of stuff like that. So the Cars have been great, and now with Gruden over at the Raiders, they're, you know, back at the Raiders, I'll tell you what, man. Stay away from that right there. You got to be on. You get free tickets, man. Talk to the team. Do something good. But it's just, you know, that's what we were talking about before. It's like you find something with people. I watch, on this network, I watch Steve Mariucci. And you don't even have to have the voice all the time. You just have to have the mooch hands. Yeah. I talk about it with Rich Eisen all the time. He's basically Chris Farley. He starts going, you got to take it. We're going to get going to effect. It's going this way. Like, you're not even following the play. What are you doing? My hands have just taken over. I'm not sure where we're going. Kurt's doing a sermon over here. Everything's coming around. We're trying to figure out Michael Irvin he's wiped about 2 pounds of sweat. I didn't even know sweat could go in pounds. I didn't know what happened. I'm supposed to be doing a character here right now, but it just left me. All right, gotta bring it up.
Oh, we're just warming up here.
Oh, my God.
Well, you mentioned you're going to give a shout out to Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Right.
You grew up a Packers fan. What's your favorite Packers memory? And have you ever met Aaron Rodgers?
Well, I have a couple of weird ones. Later in life was, I remember it was in Phoenix, and it was Packers playing against the Cardinals, and it was just that double Hail Mary. Sure. It's a double Hail Mary. And
Jeff Janis.
Right. And I brought my son with me to the game with these great tickets. And I go, did you see that? Did you see that? He's like, what? And he was playing Madden. He was playing Madden during the game.
So were the Cardinals, I think.
And when I am friends with Steve Keim. So, but then as far as meeting Aaron Rodgers, that was years ago. So that Tahoe golf event kind of thing. Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, look at you.
Barkley. Well, this was funny because Charles Barkley was there too. He was in I don't know where you call it, but he was doing karaoke, and nothing funnier than hearing Charles Barkley, because it's Thriller. So, as that's going on in the back, and then I walk out. I go to talk to Joe Buck for a second. This is kind of early on in my career, and Ben Roethlisberger's like, Mr. Caliendo. I'm like, did you just call me Mr. Caliendo? You're kidding me. How old am I? And then it was one of those surreal moments afterwards. Aaron Rodgers comes up to me. He's like, the kiddie table? Like, what are you talking about? It's like, you put me at the kiddie table.
Oh, my God.
Like, and he was half joking. But
half serious?
Like, yeah, but he hadn't taken over for Favre yet. And I was like, because that's why we put it at the Thanksgiving. It was like a John Madden, Al Michaels, do you believe in Miracle Whip? Yes! Kind of we forced that line in there, too. So it was like, it was like one of those types of things where He's just going, what's that about? He's like, I'm just messing with you. I'm like, thank goodness, because you got linemen that can protect you.
Frank, will you hit us with some more impressions after the break?
Yeah, I would love to. Been saving them.
Okay, I can't wait for that. More with Frank Caliendo after this. And I hear you have a special impression for us.
What?
Like an NFL Network family one?
I've been working on
Oh, we'll be back right here on GMFB. Thursday Night Football, hours away right here on NFL Network.